So you want to fly around the world for free like I do. It's pretty sweet, I must admit. This 8-part video series will explain how to do just that. Unlike other financial or travel YouTubers and bloggers, I'm not trying to sell you credit cards. I refuse to ever show them. So if you're ready, class is now in session. Welcome to this series on how to fly for free. This video is 101, a basic guide on how to get started. Later videos will cover things like sign-up bonuses, maximizing your everyday spend, and how best to book travel. So it's best to watch this series in a playlist. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the subsequent videos as they come out. This is a 100 level course, so it's designed for people who are new to the miles and points hobby. But I believe that I have a fairly different philosophy from most others, so those of you with more experience may still learn a thing or two from me. This video will cover how to brainstorm on your strategy, caveats on financial preparation, and the 4 broad types of rewards to accrue. I'll add the disclaimer that the miles and points game is always changing. I'll try and be as overarching as I can, but specific credit cards or loyalty programs may well change or even cease to exist. So if you want to get into the miles and points game, chances are you stumble across a YouTube channel or blog that says, "Sign up for this credit card with a lot of points." The reason they say that is they are getting paid to. If you click on their referral link, they'll make somewhere between $20 and $200 if you are approved. So of course they'll say a particular card is the solution. In fact, I did a video on this a while ago, linked above. But each of us is different, with different styles and goals. The strategy someone who wants to fly Etihad first-class apartments pursues will be totally different from someone who wants to take a large family to Disneyland. Both can be great uses of miles and points, but may require a different approach. So let's start the process by brainstorming. First, make a list of the top 5 places in the world you want to go. Where is the nearest airport? What airlines fly there? If you don't know, the Wikipedia page for an airport actually usually has a list. Plug into Google Flights what a flight from where you live to each destination would cost, and what airlines and routes are suggested. No, these aren't likely the only options, but should help you brainstorm. Second, decide how much you care about being in first or business class. Many people enter the miles and points game in order to fly in premium cabins. I'm one of them. Every single flight review on this channel I paid for myself using my own miles and points or cash. But finding award availability in business or first class is hard, especially for multiple people. Trying to get a family of 7 to Europe in business class during summer vacation? That might be quite tricky. Impossible? No, but you may need to be very flexible and creative. Additionally, airline miles are often not the best way of booking economy tickets. If economy is your thing, there's cashback cards that may provide you with a better return per dollar spent. The third and final question is, do you only care about flights, or are chain hotels also a priority? I don't feature hotels on this channel, in part because I really don't care about fancy hotels. I pick hotels based on location and often like smaller independent places over big chains. I still have multiple hotel credit cards and hundreds of thousands of points and get good use of them, but they are very much not a priority. If they are a priority for you, you'll want to include them in your overall strategy, or focus on points that can transfer to hotels at a decent rate, for example, Chase transferring to Hyatt. Next, let's cover caveats and financial preparation. The miles and points game is very much a case of first world problems. I know how fortunate I am to be able to travel at all, let alone for free. If you want to enter the game, you need to meet the financial requirements. This may not win me friends, but is my honest belief. If you carry a balance on your credit cards, focus on that. The only way you can ever come out ahead in this game is to always pay your full card balance every single month. No interest, no late fees. The annual fees are enough of a cost. You will get significantly more benefit by putting yourself on the road to financial stability first. That's not to say that a rewards credit card won't get you benefits if you do have a balance, but the full game of credit card churning and sign-up bonuses and maximizing your credit card spend is simply too dangerous if you are in debt. The next question to ask yourself is, are you going to buy a home in the next 2 years? Applying for credit cards appears as a hard pull on your credit report, which can lower your credit score, though ironically your score will ultimately end up higher, but that's beyond this video. If you suddenly apply for a lot of credit, it can look to a financial institution like you are desperately looking for money. This could result in a higher interest rate on your mortgage, which could cost you much more than that free flight. So it makes sense to have your credit cool off before a big ticket item like a mortgage. Then you want to take a look at your credit score. The US government mandates that you can get your credit report for free from each of the 3 bureaus every 12 months. Or there are various free services or services included with your bank or credit card company. I personally use Credit Karma, not sponsored, but it's up to you. You'll need 2 key pieces of information. The first is the score itself. I'm not going to go into everything that goes into your credit score, but knowing it is important as you'll need to have a sense of what kinds of cards you'll be approved for. Especially if your credit history is short, you may need to start with middle-tier cards rather than jumping all the way to a premium card, especially with the economy the way it is right now. The final piece of information you'll want to get from your credit reporting information is the number of credit cards you've signed up for in the past 24 months. We'll cover bank-specific rules in the next video. But for example, Chase at this time will automatically reject you if you've applied for 5 cards over the past 24 months. So that Gap or Victoria's Secret credit card you signed up for, you may well have said goodbye to a huge amount of points. But again, we'll cover that in the next video. The last thing you should do is analyze what you spend your money on. How much a month do you spend on gas, groceries, eating out, travel? First of all, this is a good practice to get in for your overall financial health, as otherwise all your money has a habit of just disappearing. But by seeing what you spend the most on every month, you'll know what categories are most important to you and be able to select credit cards that give you bonus miles for these categories. But we'll cover that in 103. The final topic of this introductory video is to understand the 4 types of rewards you can pursue. It's important to understand the pros and cons of each so you can design the optimal strategy for you. The rewards are on a spectrum of flexibility. The most flexible offering is, of course, cash. Cash can be used for everything. You don't need to worry about award availability on your specific date and route if you can just buy the ticket with cash. True, cash may not be glamorous, but for cheap economy travel or travel on airlines that don't have many good partners, cash is indeed king. Grab a Citi Double Cash or Discover card and just go to town with no annual fee. Next are miles, and yes, that's in quotes, that you can redeem for cash travel at a set rate. There are several current or past cards that do this, including Barclaycard Arrival Plus, US Bank Altitude Reserve, and Capital One Venture. You can additionally use Chase and Citi points with the right cards in this manner as well. In some cases, you only need to make a travel purchase with the card, then erase it on the app, website, or via text message. Others require you to book travel through a portal, which may or may not have the best prices, and you won't receive elite hotel benefits. The value of your points is a fixed amount depending on the program. For example, 1 cent per point with Capital One, or 1.25 or 1.5 cents with Chase depending on the card. So while it is effectively cash back, it's cash back that can be only used on travel or must be booked through a travel portal. Hence, it's less flexible than pure cash. Next are transferable points. These points are specific to a particular financial institution, but can be transferred to multiple programs. For example, Chase points could be transferred to United, Southwest, British Airways, or Hyatt. This gives you the flexibility to transfer your points to the best program that suits your particular travel needs at that time. Upset that United just gutted their award chart? No matter. You can instead transfer your points to Singapore and book the same flight that way to be covered in 106. You are limited in the transfer partners for each program, but the big three transferable currencies, Amex, Citi, and Chase, all have their value, with Capital One getting better every few months. Finally, there are the program-specific points, like American Airlines miles or Hilton points. These points are effectively locked in that specific program. Have lots of United miles but hate the new higher prices? Too bad, those miles are stuck. You're always at the mercy of the program in question, should they change the rules or value of the program, or heaven help us, go out of business. I only focus on getting program-specific points where there is no good transfer partner, like American or Alaska, and always look to use these points first. With that, let's conclude this video. Hopefully you've got a sense of your goals, pulled your credit report, analyzed your spending, and understand the 4 different types of rewards to pursue. I'll see you in 102, where we'll discuss credit card application strategies and sign-on bonuses.